Now going to move to our standing committee report by the extraordinary Reverend Claude Fong Toy. And he is here available to us. Would you like to speak to your report, please, Claude?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Fraser. Good evening, everybody. My task tonight is to just give a 5 minutes overview of the standing committee report. I take it that you've read the report, and the members of standing committee are here to assist with any questions. A year ago, if you asked bishops about ACM, many would have seen us as my words, probably opposition, people who are always pushing back, always saying no. But something remarkable has happened, and my view and the view of a few standing committee members, God has been at work, changing hearts and opening doors we never thought would open. Picture this: Fraser sitting down with the Archbishop and bishops, not as adversaries sitting at opposite ends of the table, but in his sharing of his stories and his experience, it's more the language of partners in the work here in Aotearoa and in New Zealand, Polynesia. They've been asking questions, genuinely interested in what we're doing. They want to know about our international connections. They see how these relationships actually strengthen the province's place in the global agricultural family. And for us as ACM, this is the breakthrough that we've been praying for. We've moved from being seen as a problem to being welcomed as an ally. The doors that were closed, they're now opening. We have a seat at the table in various places. And it's not just with church leadership. We're building real long-term friendships with Tikanga Māori and Tikanga Pacifica. Patiently, respectful relationships built on presence and not programs. Meanwhile, something exciting is happening with our membership that we've been talking about in standing committee. We're growing affiliate churches, those who have now signed up as affiliates, and growing individual members. And Rosie was just here a while ago. She's left for another finance meeting. NZCMS has joined as an associate member, and the firm is thinking about coming on board too, and that's the ongoing conversation, the decision that they've got to make. But here's the really interesting part. When someone new joins ACM these days, they're usually a young vicar. These are not just veterans who've been around for decades, but these are the next generation of church leaders. And they want different things. They're asking, what do you actually stand for? What does ACM stand for? Where's the real community? How do I faithfully minister in today's world with the help of ACM? Is staying Anglican even though is staying Anglican even the right choice? And most of all, is God still at work in our church? And it's interesting that these young leaders will be shaping parishes for the next 30 to 40 years, and getting them connected matters to ACM right now. This realization led to a big question about regen. We had held Regen 25 and saw more young people, more than ever. Great, but afterwards, Fraser and the standing committee had this light bulb moment we realized that trying to build community with big annual conferences had to change. What we really needed was stronger relationships first. And so here's the news, and you probably would already know that there will be no Regen 26. Instead, imagine smaller gatherings happen in Auckland, in Christchurch, and Wellington, regional ACM leadership days where people actually get to know each other, not just attend another conference. And so we're choosing depth over size, relationships over events. While all this is happening locally, something else is also going on internationally. Church leaders in the UK and US and Australia are asking, how are you doing this? How are you staying faithful to what you believe while also maintaining good relationships with your bishops and with the wider church? And so internationally, people are watching what we're doing because, and in my opinion, it's rare. Most places you either you're completely in or you're completely out. But we're showing here at ACM that there's another way, and people are taking notice. Of course, God's work needs practical foundations. We've become a registered charity. We've got a strategic plan for 2025 and 2030 that focuses on 5 things, and I'm sure we'll get to hear that, based on advocacy, leadership development, funding, networking, and better communication. And so we're setting up systems so that when our people go to diocesan synods, they're not alone, they're connected, they're coordinated, and they're supported, and that's the other area. We're even getting into, seeing Lucy here, we're getting into Instagram that some of us are not really familiar with, to reach younger people where they actually are. You've had Jebba talk about money, but something, and that's, for some of us, it's less exciting, but absolutely critical. Funds. St. John Trust Board has been generous, but the question that we've been asking at Standing Committee, what happens if their priorities change? What if something happens to that funding stream? And so the answer is that we'll be in trouble. So we need to become financially independent by using our charity status to attract more donors, reaching out to trusts, and diversifying our fundings. It's not glamorous, but if we can't pay the bills, it's just realistic, we can't do a mission. And so throughout all of this, we're learning to hold 2 things together, staying true to our convictions while reaching out to people we disagree with. And Fraser's meeting with Dr. Peter Lanham from Te Aroha, not because we suddenly agree on everything, and that's in the report, but because respectful dialogue matters. We're careful about Church of the Confessing Anglicans Aotearoa, because we're committed to staying in the province, but we're also seeking support from Anglican Communion partners and other like-minded communities. It's a balancing act for ACM, but it's possible to be orthodox and relational, faithful and present, theologically clear and pastorally generous also. And so hence our partnership and conversations with different parties. And finally, for us, this year has been a pivot point. We've gone from opposition to building, from being seen as a threat to being welcomed as an ally, from big events to deep relationships, from one generation to many. But here's the thing, we have to work hard and we have to continue to plan carefully, not because it all depends on us. We're doing it because we serve a God who is faithful, who builds his church and who strengthens those who trust him. And so I'd like to finish with a statement. The story isn't finished. In fact, and for me, it feels like we're just getting to the good part. And so praise be to God. Thank you.